The challenge ahead of us all is significant and worthy of our attention. For anyone outside of this room thinking it won't affect them, think again. The good news, we are confronting this challenge and we are stronger together.
Today, we're diving deep into one of the most genuinely heartwarming and inspiring moments you need to hear about. Prince Harry just delivered a message that's going to make you believe in humanity again, and honestly, it completely contrasts with the toxic energy we keep seeing from certain members of the royal institution. Stick around, because this is the kind of content that shows you why Harry is the real deal, and his critics, well, they just don't know what they're talking about. So let me set the scene for you. We're talking about the IAPP Global Summit 2026, which, for those who don't know, is basically where the smartest, most dedicated privacy professionals, tech experts, and policymakers from around the world gather in Washington, D.C. to discuss, actually important stuff, like protecting people's data, their rights, their dignity, and their freedom. And guess who showed up? That's right, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, the man who literally walked away from the toxic palace system to actually make a difference in the world. While his father was probably busy planning another expensive state visit, Harry was out there doing real work, engaging with real people who care about real issues. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. During his appearance at the summit, and this just happened, by the way, Harry sat down with Joe Jones, the organization's director of research. And let me tell you, this wasn't some stiff rehearsed interview where Harry gives you the typical royal sound bites that everyone's heard a million times before. No, no, no. This was a genuinely candid conversation, the kind where you actually see the real person behind the title. The kind of authentic moment that you literally never get with the rest of the royal family, who are all too busy protecting their precious image and their outdated traditions. Joe Jones asked him a pretty straightforward question. What gives you hope? Now, if you've been paying attention to the news cycle lately, you know that hope is something that feels pretty scarce, right? We're living in this incredibly divided world where everyone seems to be at each other's throats, where misinformation is spreading like wildfire, where privacy is being invaded left and right, and where it feels like nobody's really looking out for the average person anymore. So when Joe posed this question, you might expect Harry to give some generic answer about his children, or his newfound freedom, or his successful ventures in California. All legitimate things, obviously. But that's not what happened. Harry didn't hesitate. He didn't consult his advisors. He didn't think about what would play well with the media or what the tabloids would say about his answer the next morning. He just responded authentically and directly. Everybody in this room. That's it, that's the answer. And then he went further. He turned the entire spotlight, which, let's be real, follows him everywhere. He turned that spotlight directly onto the privacy professionals, the tech experts, the policy makers, all these incredible individuals who are in that room working tirelessly, often without recognition, often without the resources they deserve, to actually protect people's fundamental rights. Think about that for a second. Here's a man who could have said anything. He could have talked about himself. He could have discussed his recent achievements. He could have gone on some tangent about his legal battles or his family drama, which, let's be honest, the mainstream media would have absolutely loved. But instead, Prince Harry looked at a room full of people doing thankless work and said, essentially, "You're my hope. You're what makes me believe we can actually fix this broken system." And then, and this is where it really gets me, he expressed his gratitude. He stood there and said, "I would like to say to everybody here, thank you for what you do. Now, I want you to really absorb this moment. When's the last time you heard a member of the royal family genuinely thank someone like that? When's the last time King Charles or Queen Camilla took a moment to acknowledge the everyday heroes who are out there making a real difference? Harry did that. He took the time. He acknowledged their work. He made them feel seen and valued. This is such a powerful moment, and here's why it matters so much. For years, and I mean years, the British royal family has been operating under this antiquated system where you're supposed to maintain this aloof mystique, where you're supposed to be this distant figure that people look up to from afar. You don't connect with people on a human level. You don't acknowledge their struggles. You don't thank them for their work. You just exist in your castles, surrounded by your wealth and your privilege, untouched by the real world. And meanwhile, people like Prince Harry's critics have been absolutely brutal, spreading lies about him, twisting his words, attacking Meghan Sussex relentlessly, all because he dared to step outside that toxic box and actually be a real human being. But what Harry's doing here, what he's demonstrating at events like the IAPP Global Summit, is revolutionary within the context of the royal family. He's showing that you can be royal and still be real. You can have a title and still have genuine compassion. You can come from privilege and still actually care about making the world better for everyone else. He's literally redefining what it means to be a public figure in 2026. And let's talk about the timing here, because this is important. Harry's appearance at this summit came just weeks, literally weeks, after it was confirmed that he won't be joining his father, King Charles, at the upcoming state visit to the United States next month. Now, why is that significant? Well, because King Charles and Queen Camilla are scheduled to make a big, flashy, high-profile state visit to celebrate 250 years of American independence. That's right. They're coming to America to celebrate a nation's independence, while they're still clinging to the institution of monarchy like it's going to save them. It's almost ironic when you think about it. But here's the thing that the mainstream media won't tell you. Harry's choice. Or maybe it was mutual. We'll never know, because the palace is always so secretive and opaque. Harry's choice to skip his father's state visit in favour of actually doing meaningful work at the IAPP Summit says everything you need to know about where the real priorities lie. While King Charles is off doing the whole ceremonial thing, shaking hands, giving speeches written by someone else, staying in palaces, Harry is out there actually engaging with people who are solving real problems. The contrast couldn't be more stark. On one side, you have the traditional royal family, stuck in their ways, defensive about their critics, more concerned with protecting their image and their institution than with actually making a difference. And on the other side, you have Prince Harry, who's been vilified by the media, attacked by royal fans, criticised for daring to speak his truth, and yet he's out there, consistently showing up, doing the work and treating people with genuine respect and gratitude. This moment at the IAPP Summit, it's a microcosm of everything that's wrong with how the royal family operates and everything that's right about how Harry operates. He sees people, he values people, he thanks people, he finds hope in people. That's not just admirable, that's revolutionary in the context of the British monarchy. And you know what really gets me? The fact that his critics, and there are so many of them, they still don't see this. They're too caught up in their tabloid narratives, in their outdated ideas about what royalty should be, in their desperate attempts to tear down Meghan Sussex or find some scandal in Harry's past. They don't see a man who's literally trying to make the world better. They don't see someone who's stepped away from unimaginable privilege and power to actually do meaningful work. They see a threat, Because Harry and Meghan represent change, and change is scary for people who are invested in maintaining the status quo. But to those of you who do see it, to those of you who understand what Harry's really about, this moment should fill you with hope too. It should remind you that there are people out there, influential people, people with platforms, who actually care, who actually want to make things better, who aren't content to just maintain systems that aren't working, and who are willing to stand in a room full of privacy professionals and tech experts and policymakers and say, "You give me hope. Your work matters. Thank you." That's the Prince Harry I want to see more of. That's the Prince Harry we need to see more of. And that's the kind of leadership that the world is actually desperately craving right now. So there you have it, folks. Prince Harry continues to show the world what real leadership looks like, what genuine gratitude looks like, and what it means to actually care about people and causes beyond yourself. While everyone else is caught up in palace drama and royal gossip, Harry's out there changing lives and making a real difference. If this video resonated with you, if you're as inspired by Harry and Meghan as I am, please, and I really mean this, please hit that subscribe button. Help us grow this channel and spread the message that there are people in positions of influence who actually care about making the world better. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think about Harry's message. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our latest content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.